Okay, we're calling the meeting back into session at 2:11 p.m. The next item on the agenda is the financial report.
Excuse me, Chair. I'm sorry. We should just make a quick
Oh,
summary of the
okay.
second session. I can do that.
Thank you.
Pretty much along the items of the agenda item. We had a report and discussion about the seawater quality event that happened in November of 2025 and the related demand letters from Ocean Era and just a discussion about potential liabilities and other legal questions for counsel and other discussion surrounding those two things. No actions were taken or considered. No motions or votes were taken.
Thank you. Okay, we will now move to the financial report.
Well, thank you, Chair. I have a couple of bullet points. The financial report is in the board packet. I'll try to keep this really brief. And I'll just start off with total revenues for the first 10 months of fiscal year 26 was approximately $4,300,000. This reflects about a 2.8% reduction over the same period last year. And then I'm just going to go over to expenditures. Total expenses for the first 10 months of the fiscal year were approximately $4,250,000 with a 3.5% increase from last year's fiscal. And then just in general, the special fund balance is $570,000. It's a little bit reduced because we just encumbered our security contract, which is very large. About 200, I think it was $220,000. And in the arrears reports they were about $45,000 in arrears, and that's being reduced as we speak at the moment. If any of the board members would like any details, I can go over the details on any of that in regards to the revenues or the expenditures. I'll take that as a no.
Wait, I have a question. I'm so sorry. This is on the arrears report. So, ultimately, we don't want to see anyone on this report, right? Like this is kind of a big deal, is to have anyone below. And the 30 to 60 days, it's understandable, stuff happens, right? But anything past that should be actually a little concerning to everyone, right? Legacy Reef Foundation, do they still have a current lease with us?
No, that's very, very old.
Do we want to just write this off?
Yes, we do. But the issue is the time that would take us to write it off is much greater than the amount of money, meaning the resources that we have to input in that is greater than what we would be writing off. It's a long, drawn out process.
Okay. Is it only Legacy Reef that is no longer a current tenant?
That's correct.
Okay. So that's the only kind of true theoretical write-off on the arrears list. The other thing that I've noticed was that UH always seems to be on this report. Are we not billing them, or do they not know it's due, or is it a billing cycle issue with them?
Laurence is gearing up. She really wants to answer this.
So 3 years ago, UH, we used to be all our leases. We have 5 projects with UH, and they were all through RCUH, and things worked very, very well and very smoothly. 3 years ago, all of the leasing went to UH, so changes from RCUH to UH, and that process took 3 years to complete. Ray did a great job working with them, never letting go, and we finally just now completed the last lease for the UH project. So because of that, there were delays in the payments. So we did reach out to both UH Infrasound and UH SBDC, who are late on this arrears report, and they both said that they had some internal issues, but that they expect to have and fully paid up by the end of the month.
Okay,
So
so
hopefully
this might, yeah.
it will not be a problem.
So this started off as maybe a structural issue that is resolved.
It is in principle resolved, but UH is UH. Right, Dr. Wilshire?
Oh, wait, you can wait forever.
Okay, and so we get legacy, it's a terminated lease. UH seems to be structural billing issues with the transition from RCUH. Is all of the other arrears true arrears, or are there any other exceptions as well?
I don't think there's any other exception.
Yeah, I guess the highest one is Ocean Rider with 19,000 plus. That's actually an amount that seems to be and remain from year to year. So we expect that to get paid by the time that they submit their next annual report, but there'll probably be an equivalent amount. So it should be paid, but we have typical delays with this particular company.
Okay. So there is a foreseeable path to payment on that one. Or a reasonable.
Them to be paid up, but then they'll have a similar amount probably due, has been the pattern. This is a longstanding tenant that has been with us close to 30 years at this point. They're doing well as far as I can tell, but there seems to be this outstanding amount that keeps being there on our arrears report. They do want to extend their lease, by the way, so maybe there's something that the team here can do to, going forward, convince them to pay on time. It's not to their benefit. There are late fees. There's a $50 plus 1% of amount past due that gets tagged on every month. So we're basically acting as a bank when people don't pay.
So that is obviously not where we want to be either, right? When we do their extension, I would like the board to consider requiring prepaid lease rent for companies that are repeatedly in arrears with us. Okay, thank you.
If there's no other questions, that concludes the fiscal report. I'd like to go to the interim executive director's comments.
Oh, wait. Hold on, Keith. We have to, I think we have to do a motion, right? Because this one had decision making on the agenda. Did we lose John?
No, I'm here. Sorry, I was eating something.
No. My apologies. I made so many mistakes procedurally in this meeting. I just want to make sure I don't make another one. But we do have to vote on the financial report, right?
On the report, so a motion and vote is in order.
Okay. Could we please have a motion to approve the financial report?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, and the minutes will reflect Director Miyashiro's suggestions. With that, could we please vote on the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, thank you, Keith. You can now move to the informational executive director's report.
Well, thank you, Chair. You can tell that I'm really green at this, so I appreciate you all jumping in and showing me the right direction. What I'd like to speak to you all about is, first, it's so unfortunate that Riley passed recently, and then we just had a few retirements of key staff here, specifically our management staff. That's Alex and Laurence. So we're kind of navigating into some difficult times, but I want to tell you all that even though that we have several challenges on our horizon, in my opinion, we have a great opportunity ahead of us. And the reason why I believe that we have a great opportunity ahead of us is four, or actually three. But I just want to tell Chair, the Board of Directors, the staff of NELHA got this. Ron's kind of alluded to this before. So first, I want to just mention that our human resources, NELHA couldn't assemble a better group or staff of members who are willing, skilled, and capable to stepping up to the challenges here. And here's why you should be feeling really optimistic. The NELHA staff has observed past executive directors navigate through challenges similar or as difficult or even more difficult than what we have today. And their skillful steering this organization towards critical milestones and achievements is impressed upon us. Greg and Riley had this covered, and we got this now. Alex and Laurence prepared for a smooth transition. Pam and Brian Babbitt spent the necessary time to learn from the experts. Big thank you goes to Alex and Laurence for their forethought and their dedication towards Host Park. Pam and Brian withstood the test of time and have enthusiasm to carry on the legacy. They got this. NELHA Operations Department will be TAing Brian and Bryce, who you just met today, into new leadership responsibilities. They're ready and eager and knowledgeable and skilled craftsmen, and they got this. You all know Faustine and her work ethic. Nothing needs to be said because we know Faustine's got this. The leasing department and marketing has been unleashed with creativity and enthusiasm. I can tell you, Ray got this. The operations department has seen incredible challenges the past few years. Not only are they steady at hand, they are deep sea water cool under incredible pressures. I have no doubt they got this. So bad. Fiscal has been slammed with work and understaffed, and we're on the precipice of hiring a new team member, that will allow Jennifer to unleash her 10 key, and she's got this. So I've received phone calls from Greg, Alex, Laurence is still sitting here, and Jan, and they told me that if I need any help or any of the staff need any help with anything, they were willing and able to be here for us. So I'm going to say again, as even though we have retired people and our staff, I think as a whole, we got this. So the second thing I want to make sure that it's very clear in your head that NELHA has just concluded procuring about $1.9 million of equipment. And this is really important because right now we have on the shelf or already deployed in the field pumps, parts, all kinds of stuff. So whatever happens here, we got this now. It's not going to be a procurement problem. We can put this in place. And then finally, the big one that a lot of people get really nervous about is our offshore pipelines. And I believe that we are at a much lower risk. This is the thanks to Alex and Brian Babbitt, who has spent a considerable amount of time securing the Ocean Farms abandoned pipelines to the near shore. And because of that, the likelihood of a pipeline resurfacing is low. But on top of that, the legislature allocated $2 million of funding to perform emergency removal. So we're ready and we got this. So in conclusion, I believe that the opportunity for NELHA staff in this challenge before us is actually an opportunity. It's the right time to sail the Host Park ship into a safe harbor, to refocus in the short term to rebuilding Host Park. In the meanwhile, the board of directors will have the time to vet and select the new executive director, and together we will queue up the new executive director to successfully direct and the rebuilt Host Park ship towards the next visionary horizon. I believe the board of directors and NELHA staff got this. So with that, I conclude my first interim executive director's comments, and I hope you all feel like you got this. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Great job, Keith.
Any questions from any directors?
I just want to make a motion that I think Keith has got this. Thanks, Keith.
Nice job, Keith. Okay. With
Chair,
that, we have
if I may, please, Chair.
Yes.
Just a question for Laurence before she leaves. If Laurence, could you just give us a synopsis of the status of the offshore EIS and what are the next steps for that to move that forward? Sorry, that's just a pet project of mine. I think it's going to be of inestimable value to NELHA to have that move forward. And I wouldn't want to see it languish for misfunding cycles or otherwise languish. Laurence, if you could, please.
Sure. So there was a 1.5 million that was allocated, I think at this point, 2 or 3 years ago. In any case, it's expiring in June 30, 2026. We spent a considerable amount of time trying to get that funding allocated to a contract. Our first attempt was to add it onto our current onshore EIS contract, which is an EIS update of what's onshore along with a master plan update. Unfortunately, the contractor could not or would not take this on. We then had several cycles of selection, a review and selection of other potential providers for this work. And we ran into some difficulty there as well. So the end result is that this money is CIP funds that will expire by June 30, 2026. So within a month from now, or a little bit more than a month. And we expect to have a conversation with Director Wicker soon, not to put him on the spot. But we already have a meeting set up to see where we can go from there with these funds. There are a couple of options and a couple of ideas that we have, but I am not sure whether at this point these are funds that can be recovered in any way. I'm sure that's not the news you wanted to hear, but that is the current status of those funds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is disappointing. I would hope. You indicated some pessimism about the ability to extend that. If we can't, does that then have to go back to the legislature to reappropriate those funds again and go through that process? Is that what would happen next?
Yeah, most likely. I can't really 100% tell you exactly what the path would be at this point, but most likely we would have to go back. I will add that doing this work offshore was kind of a stretch goal to be able to do this. I mean, it's costing us 1.62 million just to do the update of an existing EIS onshore, which is a lot easier than what would be needed to do this offshore. It's never been done quite offshore, especially the way we're considering doing it. So it was probably unreasonable to think that 1.5 million would cover the work offshore. When it barely covers what's onshore, we had to add some of our special funds in order to enter into a contract for the onshore EIS. So it was a stretch goal. We tried. We didn't quite make it, but we'll try to figure out a path going forward to revisit it.
Okay. Thanks, Laurence. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you, Laurence. And thank you to you and the team for all of the effort. That was I don't know that there's anything left unturned given how many times we tried to work that through. So thank you. Okay. Is there anything else before we adjourn? Okay, hearing nothing. Thank you to everyone, and the meeting is hereby adjourned at 2:30 p.m.
You.